Well, happy Friday morning, everyone. Happy Friday morning, TikTok. Happy Friday morning, Facebook. Happy Friday morning, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Twitch, and where else are we? Did we say Facebook? Well, happy Friday morning, world. Happy Friday morning, world. It is another amazing day. I am so grateful to be here with you this morning. I am Dr. Daphne Clarke-Hudson. I am a coach, educator, speaker, and I am also an authentic broadcaster. And I am so blessed to be the host of this amazing show. 5 days a week, I come here to provide education for you so that you will be able to tap into your soul purpose without hesitation, without fear, and without worry. So, welcome everyone, regardless of where you're joining from this morning. It's a privilege to have you here. In this episode, we are going to be talking about honoring your truth. Honoring your truth. Honoring your truth is what we are going to talk about this morning. Because in the world that we live today, there are many people who are not comfortable in standing tall in who they are. And so for that reason, that's what we are going to be talking about this morning. So go ahead. I enjoy participation. So use the comments, give your feedback as we go through the conversation. Later on, we are going to be doing hot seat coaching. However, before I go ahead, I want to do some housekeeping. I want you to know that you can order my book, Conversation on Success. Order it directly from me. This one is not on Amazon. It is $19.95, and you get an autographed copy, and you pay me through Cash App. It's $19.95 plus $6 for shipping and handling, and it is shipped via priority mail. All right? So we're just getting everything out there. If it is the least you can do is buy a book. If you are not into reading, give somebody. Oh, thank you so much for the roses. Gift somebody so that they can read it and tell you what's going on. All right? So with that being said, I also want to encourage you to text me. Knowledge is power. That's right. Text me your phone number and your email address, and I will reach out to you and let you know how you can get 5 or 10 minutes of my time at no financial investment. In those 5 or 10 minutes, we will talk through some problems. And you will see that the services that I provide can add value to what you are going through, and I can help you to resolve many of the problems. For those of you who are considering working with me, yes, I am a coach and I am a mentor and I am an accountability partner. If any of you require any of those services, I want you to reach out to me in a text as well and let me know that. And I will in turn send you my calendar. My team and I will send you my calendar so you can reach out and book a breakthrough session with me. And after the breakthrough session, you will say, ah, yes, you really helped me. Or I will say, we are definitely not a match. The service that you need is more than I can deliver. However, I'll point you to such and such a person because I have a network of people that if I am not the fit for you, I can send you to somebody else. All right? What am I missing? I don't want to miss anything because you know what? My coach was in here the other day listening to me, and she said, why aren't you telling people how they can get in touch with you? Why aren't you letting the people know that you are in business? So I am not on these platforms for entertainment. I am on these platforms to add value to your life and to help you to walk into your soul purpose. That's why I'm here. I'm not here for entertainment. I am contributing valuable information to you. And I hope that you are not someone who are only coming here to consume, that you are coming here to learn, and what you are learning, you will in turn share it with other people. Your family, your co-workers, your neighbor. You might be on the line at the cashier and you hear somebody saying something. I want you to value what I'm doing enough as to say, you know something? I know this Jamaican lady, and she is good at that. Here is her number. Call her up. And if she's not the person for you, she's not going to take your money. She will let you know and she'll point you in the right direction. So stop being stingy on yourselves. Stop sitting around and not investing in yourself. And know that no matter what you have gone through, it is time for your healing. It's time for your healing. We have all gone through stuff. But it is time for your healing. It is time for you to honor your truth. All right? Why is living an authentic life so important? We live in a peculiar world. Every time we look around, people are hating on each other. People are judgmental, people are prejudiced, and people are damaging and destructive to each other. People need to understand that we are human beings. It doesn't matter where we came from. It doesn't matter our culture, our ethnicity. It don't matter what we eat. We are human. And that's what we need to focus on. People are scared to be themselves. Why? Because even on their jobs, they are being bullied. So for those reasons, people are not able to honor who God created them to be, because everybody, society, have them locked in gridlock. Because they look different, they sound different, they eat different seasoning in their food. Oh, they use too much garlic. Their breath smell of garlic. So what? Move on. So this is why I'm grateful that Spirit has me this morning to talk about honoring our truth. Honoring our truth. What do I mean by honoring your truth? What do you think I mean by that? Whichever platform you're on, I want you to type it in the comments. When you hear me talk about honoring your truth, what do you think I mean? Go ahead and jot something in the box. Remember, I told you that this site, this is a participation sport. Sight, do you mean insight into yourself? When I mention honoring your truth, I am talking about true discovery of who you are as a human. So write that down. I need you to fully discover who you are. Yes, for what we really are. Discover yourself. When you honor your truth, it's not about your qualifications. It's not about where you went to college and all of that stuff. That has nothing to do with it. Who are you truly? When you look in the mirror, where is my mirror? When you look in your mirror, who are you? Have you truly discovered yourself from an authentic place? Or are you ashamed of who you are and you find yourself wanting to be somebody else? Have you ever encountered anybody like that? But you can be judged for being. That's right. What's your name? D. Yes, I'm going to get there, Queen. You stick with me. I'm going to get there too. There are so many people who are afraid of who they are, and not even afraid, ashamed of who they are. You have to understand that there is such a close link and a close tie between self-discovery and authenticity. People look at me and they say, oh, how long you live in America? You still have your Jamaican accent. I say, what accent? This is who I am. Look at me as a human being. Forget about what I sound like. Are you seeing the truth in me? Can you resonate with me? I'm not going to say, Lord, my boobs is not big enough. I'm not going to say my hips is not big enough. and I'm not going to be traveling home, Spirit. Woo! I tell you, when I was living up north, a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman went overseas to work on our boobs and our hips. 5 children, she have 5 kids. And you know what? Sadly enough, she did not make it out. Those 5 kids is without a mother. I cried like a baby when I heard. I said, as gorgeous as she was, somebody said she wasn't happy with her boobs and she wasn't happy with her hips. And she went in one of those countries, I forgot where she went, because she was able to get both done for $9,000 versus the amount that they were charging here in America. Let me tell you, I cry like a baby. I'm here to tell you, honor who you are, honor your truth. Everything that we are comprised of, how we look is for a reason. Stop letting society put you down. Yes, they rather to pay the money because they are not in tune with their higher selves. They keep looking around and they see the figure 8 person and they're not looking to say, hey, that's in their DNA. Let me embrace my DNA and let me love on me. 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 You got to know who you are. Stop let society, stop let social media tell you who you are. Yes, I'm on all the platforms. But guess what? There are some days I hop on here, I don't even have my lipstick on. I don't even have my wig on. Because Spirit say, go say this. I brush my teeth, I come on and I do what I got to do. I'm not saying I don't like to look different. Not different. That I don't like to look approachable. But that is not designing who I am. Good morning. Good morning. It's not detecting who I am. Camille, how are you? Too bad. If people say, oh, but you don't have your makeup on, so what? So what? So long as I'm not having any BO, body odor, bad breath and all of that, I'm approachable. Stop letting society figure who you are. Walk in all of your authenticity. Yes, there are times when my grammar is not right. Guess what? I ain't going to worry about that. When Spirit gives me a message, I'm giving you whether the English is right or not, so long as you understand. So long as you understand. The challenges between authenticity there are some huge challenges around authenticity. Like I saw somebody say before that you're scared. Yes, Because when we decide to be different, hey, welcome back, Jennifer. Good to see you, Queen. When you decide that you want to be different, society puts so much pressure on you. And they will tell you things like, oh, but that's not the norm. To hell with that. You got to understand what you are about. And let me tell you something. There comes a time when we got to cut people loose because they are not adding to the value of who we are called to be. We got to know how to assess and analyze the people that we are associating ourselves with. Let me tell you all something. I ran for 62 years. I ran from who I was. It wasn't sexy to say you're intuitive. And I suppressed that because I was afraid of being judged. In the religious environment that I was afraid of being judged. And I want you to listen to me because my story is, your story is probably intertwined in my story. What I'm sharing now might be where you are. I was afraid of being judged. And yes, the early stages of my life, I was afraid of being rejected as well. And this morning, I'm going to be sharing a little book with you that started me on my path of enlightenment. I'm going to share it with you. And I want you to get it. I'll tell you in a few minutes. I had to be willing to stand up, and through all the emotional trauma that I was going through, I had to understand, Daphne, you're created for something different. There is something special about you. You just love people in a different way. You always have to be talking to people. You're always asking people questions. Daphne, you are different. You are not called to be ordinary. Step up, my child. Honor who you are. Stop being afraid. And God bless the day when I met a gentleman out of the Bahamas by the name of Dr. Miles Monroe. And when I told him what the turmoil I'm going through inside of me, I'm getting to it soon, not just yet. Give me another minute. When I told him over lunch the turmoil I was going through, he said to me, that is happening to you, my sister, because you're not walking in your calling and your purpose. And those words resonates with me, but I didn't know what they meant. I have never heard that before. Good morning, Courtney. I'm mailing your book today. I had never heard those words before. But for that entire conference, I was like picking his brains and wanting to know more about what he told me. And that conversation with him started me out on my path of enlightenment. That conversation with him allowed me to overcome many of the obstacles and adversities that I was encountering. That conversation with him allowed me to become more self-aware. It allowed me to become more self-accepting, and it helped me to understand the importance of building my resilience and to be accepting of who I am called to be. This is why it is so important for us to talk to other people. Had I not spoken with Dr. Miles at that conference in Cleveland, Ohio, I would not be sitting right here on this show this morning. Because there's a high possibility that I would be still running and dodging from who universe called me to be. I would still be in the church, singing on the choir, being in the drama group, being usher, teaching small group, being greeter, everything that you think I was doing, and burnt out, unappreciated, unrecognized. It was never enough because I was trying to not be rejected, not realizing where my true acceptance was. That might be your story. That might be your story. That might be your story. I want you to step forth. I want you to honor yourself. Honor your truth. And when I spoke to Dr. Miles and told him about the turmoil that was going on in my life, and he said, "Oh, my sister, it's all because you are not honoring your calling and your purpose." I said, "Honoring, calling, and purpose? What do you mean, Dr. Miles?" And he said, each and every one of us is born for a purpose. I said, born for a purpose. Born for a purpose. He said, yes, born for a purpose. And as the conference convened, those words have been resonating in my soul, in my spirit, in my heart. Called for a purpose. I was in church all of my life, and I never heard anything about purpose. Never. Never. I heard about sinful and all of that, and if I don't do what, I'm not going to go to heaven and everything like that. All of that I heard. And yes, I was supposed to be responsible to go search and seek for myself. I didn't do that either, because I was under the manipulative spells of my leaders. People who were supposed to be my spiritual leader, they were my religious leader. And I was doing what they say, doing what they say, doing what they say, doing what they say. I was not searching for myself. And Dr. Mike said, I am going to be selling my books today. And he said, if it is only one book you can get, it will explain more to you about what we were talking about. And he said, I want you to get that book, In Pursuit of Purpose. It's a little book. A little book. This is a little book. I want you to take a screenshot of it. And I want you to invest in this book. Discover the key to personal fulfillment. It's little. It's easy to read. It will enlighten you. It will enlighten you. I want you to invest in yourself. I want you to begin to ask yourselves the right question. Am I honoring my truth? Am I honoring my truth? Am I honoring my truth? Yes. Yes, you can get it on Amazon. How much is the book? I don't know. I've had this for years. I'm sure you can get it on Amazon. I don't remember, Courtney. I've got this book for years. And see, I have my John Hancock in it. I've had this for years, Courtney. But if it's on Amazon, and if you don't see it on Amazon, look on Bahama Faith Ministry website. You should get it. But it's there. It is there. It is there. I want for us to realize that many of us are falling prey to man-made rules. What we are doing has nothing to do with universal practices. How did you break away from your religious leaders and walk in your purpose? Great question. I would not call it breakaway. I made the decision to invest in myself and see the light. I continued to work on myself. And you see this little book? When I learn about what's in this little book, and I went back to my church, at that church, I need to do some work and look for the book. When I got back to my church, I was then going to Faith Church in New Milford, Connecticut. And you all can ask anybody. I became bold and unapologetic. And remember I told you all the things I was doing? Well, when the time came around, they have signing up to teach small groups. You know what I did? I signed up to teach a small group called In Pursuit of Purpose. I was no longer afraid of rejection or being judged. I signed up to teach In Pursuit of Purpose. And are you hearing me? Are you listening? I began honoring my truth. And when I started to teach the group, oh my heavens, after the first group, oh, every time I put forth to teach, my group was always so large. And I remember like yesterday, as I began teaching this group at my church, at my mega church. It's a mega church. My former pastor was friends with Joe Osteen and all of them. You hear me? Mega church. I started teaching this In Pursuit of Purpose. And as I was teaching In Pursuit of Purpose, the intuitive gifting began to flow. And some of the people used to say, but Sister Daphne, plenty of what you're teaching us or what you're saying to us is not in this book. Where are you getting that information from, Sister Daphne? You're telling us things, Sister Daphne, about our personal lives and things that we didn't tell you. Sister Daphne, how did you know? Still being a little religious and a bit slightly shy and concerned that they're going to turn me in. I said to them, interested. Anything that I have said to you, is it true? Of course it's true. And they go on and they tell me, yes, it's true. I said, okay. If it is true, do it. Don't worry about where I get the information on about it. Don't worry, don't concern yourself about that. Still was not accepting the fact that I was getting my channeling from the universe. Still not bold enough to fully honor my truth. And my class get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And somebody asked how I broke away. The truth is, I just stopped going to church. People say out of the blue, I just stopped going. Do I do spells? I'm casting spells right now. And you cast spells. You do spells every day. Your spells are the words that you speak. Those are the greatest spells that you can do. Speak the words. Your words have power. Those are the spells. Every morning I come on here, I'm casting spells all over the world because I'm speaking some of the most powerful words that the Spirit gives me. So I remember just not going. And they called and they said, you all right? Yes, we haven't seen you in church. I say, I know. How did you feel after stopping going to church? I felt free. I felt free. And guess what? One of my prior partners, a lady by the name of Blanche Taylor. Blanche knew about my gifting, but Blanche had never said anything to me. But she always called me and she wanted me to pray with her about things pertaining to her son and so on, and we would pray. I would go to her house. She was retired. And we would have lunch and we would talk and we would pray. But the way we were doing it was not in a religious way. And when I stopped going to the church, there was a little place run by the Catholic up the road. I forgot the name of Gaylordsville. And she and I go up there to attend some healing service. And that was when Blanche said to me, I am so proud of you. I said, why? She said, you just give birth to your real self. She said, you are not hiding who you are anymore. She said, my sister, I knew this about you. This is why I used to call you and talk to you so much and ask you to pray with me when my family and my friends was going through stuff. She said, I knew. She said, I knew, I saw it, I felt it. Because she said, you was different. Being around you was different. Being around you, she said, was always different. And listen, I have not turned back. Somebody asked how I felt. Free. Free. However, I was still not fully blossomed. And you know how come I was opened up into fully blooming and honoring my truth? I was hospitalized in 2013. I was hospitalized with a stroke. I had a stroke. Went to the hospital. The neurologist evaluated me. It was a Thursday I went in the hospital. And Dr. Habibi, the neurologist at Danbury Hospital, evaluated me. He said tomorrow morning, I will be back with the medical team. During the night, I had a vision. When you get out of these walls, you honor all of who you're called to be. You got to stop running. You got to stop running. And I wake up. I look around because You know, when you get visions, it's like somebody real talking to you. I look, and the light was off. It's just the night light. You know, they have the little night light over your bed. That's all. I went back to sleep and realized it was the spirit was speaking to me. So I realized that when I come out, I can't suppress me no more. I can't suppress. So when Dr. Habibi came with the medical students, he greeted me, "Good morning." I said, "Good morning, Dr. Habibi." He looked, he said, "Who is this?" I said, "It's Daphne." He said, what happened?" He walked, he looked at my chart, he looked at my bed number. He said, "What happened?" He asked me what happened because there was no sign of my stroke. He turned around, he said something to the 4 medical students that was with him. I have no idea what he said to them. But what I remember, he turned around and he said to me, "I cannot believe I am going to say what I am saying now as your neurologist, but I'm going to say it anyhow." He said, "What work you tell me you do again?" And I say, "I'm a speaker and a coach." And he said to me, I can't believe I'm going to say this. He said, "You are a miracle." He said, "I'm looking at a miracle." And he said, "When you get out of this hospital, I want you to do more of that. Keep speaking it because you are a miracle. You are going to go home today. There's no need to keep you in the hospital. The speech therapist will come and see you. He'll do his evaluation. And you are going to go home today. On Monday, we need you to go to the outpatients clinic on Main Street in Danbury." I didn't tell him anything about the vision. I did not. And the speech therapist came and he did all the tests he did the day before. And he agreed with Dr. Habibi that I can go home. He said, "Call and make arrangements for somebody to come and get you. We already booked your appointment to go to the speech clinic on Main Street on Monday." I went to the clinic on Monday and the speech therapist did extensive evaluation. And she said, "Mrs. Hudson, you will need to come to the clinic 90 days, 3 days a week." Remember, I'm there Monday, I'm going back Wednesday, and I'm going back Friday. When I got outside, I was in my feelings because I said, if she need me to come 90 days, why are they only giving me 3 appointments? Why not give me enough so I can arrange my life? And the Spirit said to me, "Breathe and go home. Breathe and go home." So I breathe, I go home. Wednesday, I'm back at the clinic. Remember, we're talking about honoring your truth. Honoring your truth is what we're talking about. On Wednesday, when I went back, went to the speech therapist, and she's talking to me. She said, "Mrs. Hudson, I want you to do me a favor." I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, don't book any appointment until Friday when you come back. I said, okay, ma'am. I wasn't getting in my feelings anymore. I just went home. Friday, I'm back at my appointment. That's my third appointment. And she said, this morning, Mrs. Hudson, I'm going to do the things we did Monday over. And I want to do one additional thing that I did not do on Monday. I want to create a restaurant scene on my computer. And you and I, we're going to dine in that restaurant. It's like a virtual restaurant. I said, yes, ma'am. And she opened up her computer and we began talking. Everything. She asking me things and we talking like two people in a restaurant. And then with the biggest smile on her face, she closed her computer down and she said, Mrs. Hudson, I have good news. You don't have to come back. I knew on Monday, I told you you need to come for 90 days. But you do not have to come back. She said, all the tests I did on Monday, I redid them today. You score 100. The restaurant scene, you score 100. If I had met you on the street, I would not have known you had a stroke. I smiled. I said, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I went outside in the parking lot. I raised my hands up. I said, God, I'll not doubt you any longer about who I am called to be and what I am supposed to do. And it is with that decision and determination that I fully, without apology, bold and unapologetically walk into the calling. And with that acceptance, the Spirit said, your work in Connecticut is finished. Here is where we need you to go. The universe told me exactly where in Florida I'm supposed to go. Everything I owned was packed into a 30-something foot Penske truck. And that's how I ended up in Florida, walking in my calling and honoring who I am called to be, fully, unapologetically. It's not been easy because, once you begin to honor who you are, we talk about the obstacles and the backlashes. Yes, I've had many backlashes from many of the religious people that I knew. So much so till somebody wrote me a letter telling me how worried she is about my eternal soul. Write a letter and go to the post office and mail it to me to reprimand me. All because she asked me if I found a church. I said, no, I'm no longer going to traditional church. So, once you begin to honor your truth, obstacles are going to come up. Obstacles will come up. You have to understand what you are about. You got to be fully committed. You have to put tunnel vision on. You have to say, I'm through with them. No more. They cannot prevent me from doing what it is I am called to do. So with that being said, yes, the obstacles will rise up. Things will come in your way to deter you from honoring your truth. However, you got to be fully committed. You got to do what it takes to maintain and to sustain yourself. Are you willing to put the work in? Are you willing to invest in yourself? Are you willing to get the mentorship, the teaching? Sometimes refocusing on the situation and not the solution. Exactly. Exactly, Jennifer. You got to say to yourself, come hell or high water, I'm in this. I'm in this. And let me tell you something. I was still disobedient when I came here to Florida. I got me a job. 7 months without any warning. Had 3 good evaluations over the 7 months I was there. I was ready to leave work and the director called me in the office and said, oh, today was your last day with us because we are not a match. And I said to her, continue success in all that you do. And she said, I hope your business take off because your time here with us was so much more good than it was bad. And I just continue walking. I walk, and I just came home. And Tuesday morning when I was meditating, I said, God, what did I do to attract this to me? Because I was still thinking Daphne's in charge. I said, I got to pay rent. I got to do this. How am I going to do it? And the Spirit said to me, you got distracted. You forgot why you were sent to Florida on divine assignment. You went in that job to add value, you became comfortable and complacent. So this is a wake-up call. So again, I was trying to get into Daphne. And when that happened, I said, now I'm totally surrendering. I'm not getting into your universe. And that's where I am. So this is the reason why every time I sit here on these lives, I'm saying what the Spirit wants me to say. I know people say, but why don't you do cards? Why don't you do that? That's not what the universe wants me to do. So kudos to those who do that. I'm not hitting anybody. I'm just staying where the universe wants me to stay and to do what? Thank you for the follow. What the universe wants me to do, because I am called and set apart. All right? So, with that being said, I want you to understand that there are ripple effects. Once we begin to honor our truth, there are ripple effects to what we do. It's going to impact us, the people around us, and the community at large. Now it's that once we begin to honor our truth, it's like we gain some superpower. So you don't need to be afraid anymore. Just keep investing in you. And I want to give you 2 resources again from my library that is helping me. I want to tell you that rejection was for your protection. You have to be obedient. Exactly, Jennifer. Exactly. And I tell you, since I've walked away from that job, I've not been hungry one night. I've not gone to bed without food. Last week, my car was broken down, and let me be vulnerable. When it went to the garage, it needed a starter, it needed an alternator, and it needed a battery. You all hearing me? And listen, my car is in the driveway right now because the universe worked it out for me. The universe, I got you. And I'm so grateful. The old Daphne would have stressed out, oh, I don't have the money to do this. But guess what? The universe provides. All right? So I want to show you 2 more books. Yes, 2 more books that I want you to buy so you can invest in yourself. And this is another book. Take a screenshot. Take a screenshot. Understanding your potential. Understanding your potential. I want you to get that book. I want you all to do the work. All right? And the other book is Who Are You Really and What Do You Want? Who are you really and what do you want? Please grant me the favor of investing in you so that you will no longer need to be manipulated by religion. That you will no longer need to be manipulated by society. That you will no longer be ashamed of who you were birthed to be. I want to again invite you to reach out. Purchase my book as well. $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Support your girl. My Cash App is open. Whatever way you can support. If you have a business and you want to sponsor my show, let us know. I show appreciation to Mona. Thank you, Queen, for everything you have been doing over the years to support me. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate and thank you. I want you to invest in yourselves. Do the work. You are special. Each and every one of you, whether you're listening to the replay or live, you are special kings. You are special queens. I want to encourage you to go the distance. Please do not quit on yourself. Have a fabulous, fantastic weekend. Be careful. Be careful. Love on yourself, love on your family. And I look forward to seeing you on the next broadcast. This is Dr. Daphne Clarke-Hudson, coach, educator, speaker, and authentic broadcaster. I am the educator who provides information and education to help you to tap into your soul purpose. Love you and have a fantastic weekend, everybody. Bye.